This afternoon I'm at Lake Moodemere for a sunset bait fishing session. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now it's 3:20, so I've got just a little bit more than a couple of hours of daylight left to see if I can catch a fish at Lake Moodemere. I'll be using 2 rods, one with a paternoster rig, one with a running sinker rig, both with Jan-Jark worms. And there's really not much else I can tell you. I'll put them in and then sit back and wait. Normally when I'm doing this type of fishing over here at Lake Moodemere, I like to have sweet corn. 1 rod with corn and 1 rod with worms. But I wasn't planning on coming to Lake Moodemere today. In fact, I drove past here at sunrise this morning and I headed north, deep into the Riverina region of New South Wales, where I went fishing in the Yanko Creek. I'm on my way home from Yanko Creek now. I've still got a couple of hours of daylight, so I've just made the impromptu decision to pull up at Lake Moodemere and try my luck. But that's why I've got no corn. Oh, I'm getting a bite there now. Oh. Got him! Yes! I've only been here a couple of minutes. Big. I've just loosened my drag before the hook pulls out. Oh, it's going to go straight into them weeds. Well, the line's only been in a couple of minutes, probably 5 minutes at the most. Big. Lively. I made a video recently about how I like to set my drag, and I said what I normally do is I have it tight enough so that when I strike it sets the hook, and then I quickly reach up and loosen the drag, and that's exactly what I done just then. Although the fish is going to swim into the reeds by the looks of it. But you know what, if I didn't loosen the drag, it might have snapped the line before it got to the reeds. I'm just going to keep my eye on this other rod here. Well, this is one more fish than I expected to hook here today. I didn't think I'd do much good here, to be quite honest. I've just got to hope it decides to head out there, otherwise I'm never going to get it out of all them reeds. If it was summer, I'd just walk out there and reel it in from the other side, from the front. Come on, you stupid thing. You can hear it splashing. It's wrapped around all kinds of stuff in there. You can see heaps of reeds moving over there. How am I going to get it out of there? Oh, come on, keep coming out. Keep coming out. Oh yes, it's coming out. It's coming out into the open. Up into the last few reeds here. Yes, I've got it out of all those reeds. I don't know that it's a record-breaking fish, but it's got to be at least a 50 to 60, I reckon. Big. Big fish, big fish. I've left my landing net in the car. I haven't forgotten, I just didn't get it out because I can just beach fish. I think when I take this one out, the lake's going to go down about a foot. The water level's going to drop. Look at the size of it. That's got to be nudging 70 centimetres, that fish. At first I knew it was big, but I didn't think it was that big. The old JD custom-made fishing rod is under a bit of duress. This is the point where I can just become a little bit impatient and lose this fish. That is enormous. Right, come on, mate. Come on. That really is a scaled whale. Lay on your side, mate. Don't go back out there. Imagine if I hooked this on my little short stumpy rod. Oh, good. Lay on your side. Lay on your side. That's what we need. That's what we need. Don't wet me. Whoa! That's enormous! I've got to get a photo and a measurement. I'm going to get a photo and a measurementation, but that is huge! Right, what does the little sewing tape measure come up to? 76 centimetres. 74 centimetres. It's at the tip of the tail there, level with the front of the mouth. 74 on the dot. 74 centimetres, that's incredible. Wow. I'm puffed. I've got to put it to sleep and get my line back in. You know what? Who needs corn anyway when you've got Jan-Juck worms doing the job like that? I just looked up in time to see my fishing rod shaking around a bit, so I must have had a bite. My paternoster rig just had its first bite of the evening, and what a bite it was. He's back. I just had a big bite on this rod. It just came back and had another bite, so the fish is still there. Oh, someone's playing with the running sinker rig here. Come on. Take up that slack so that I can strike. Something's just pulled the line tight on the right. They're about to be both running sinker rigs because I'm just getting some stuff ready. I'm going to put a smaller hook on this side, on this rod, and a running sinker rig. Getting bites on the running sinker. I'm trying to rig up this other one with a running sinker. Missed it. Right, I'm now going the double running sinker rig. Every time I put this line in, it gets a bite almost straight away. Oh, the other rod. And this one. Got him. Didn't I tell you, it gets a bite nearly straight away. Doesn't feel as big as the last one, but it's another big carp, I'm pretty sure. As soon as I put it in. If it's not a carp, it's a decent redfin. Could be. It is a decent redfin. You beauty. You ripper. That is an absolute ripper of a redfin. Now I am super happy. I'm going to get a photo. Don't kick back in, mate. The only spot you're going back into is the esky. Right, let's get a measurement. 35 centimetres. 30 bit over, but we'll say 35 centimetres of awesome Lake Moodemere redfin. And I couldn't be happier. Look at that, 35 centimetres of fat Lake Moodemere redfin. I was going to keep it, but you know what, I've changed my mind. I've got some fish at home, so I'm going to put it back. Awesome! You beauty! I'm going to get this rod back in. This other rod's getting bites. Look. Well, I've caught 109 centimetres worth of fish. And I've only caught 2 fish. I better check this worm. There's a fish on here. I was just going to say, there's something on here. It feels very heavy. Heavier than expected. When I say very heavy, it can only feel so heavy when it's got a redfin on there that's about the length of my finger. See you later, mate. That's all happening. There's 3 on the board, a monster carp, although that last fish stuffed up the average size. Now, I've got to say this from time to time. I don't say it in every video, but I do need to say it occasionally in case you haven't heard it. There will be a link in the video description below to where you can get Jan-Juck worms. You buy them online, they mail them out to you, and they're normally, you know, a cardboard box with a heap of newspaper keeping them at a decent temperature. And I'll put a link in the video description below. And they're big, fat and juicy. Just had a huge bite on the running, well, they're both running sinker now, but I just had a huge bite on this running sinker. I'll put it back out there and I'll just hold it for a second. Getting a bite on this rod now. Can't believe how much action I'm having today. Last time I came to Lake Moodemere was sort of mid to late May, and it was -4. You may have seen that video. I think I called it catching fish below freezing or something. Missed it. But I certainly didn't. I had a bit of action there right on sunrise, but then it went really quiet. Certainly nothing like the action I'm having here today. This is just unprecedented. That's a word that I learnt during COVID. I would have known what that meant a few years ago. Got him. It's only a little one, this one. Another little redfin, is it? Yep. Tiny little reddy. That's redfin number 3. Go on. See you later, mate. What was a bite straight away as soon as I put that down then? I went to take up the slack, but the slack was already taken up by a fish. What was another this rod? Got him. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. He's only very small again. Another tiny redfin. It's the second biggest. I've got that monster, and this is the biggest of the small ones, and he's got it down a bit deeper. This one might be in trouble, mate. He might have to go out on the water for the sea eagles. Look at it out. See how he goes. See you later, mate. Might leave that worm on there too. I was not expecting this. I wasn't even planning on fishing here today. It was a... Oh, now this rod. Missed that. It was a last minute decision to fish here, but one that I'm glad I made. Someone's playing with that too. Missed it. Oh, gee, that took up a heap of slack then. Here we go. Here we go. Well, he'd be going on both rods. Got him. I missed him. I thought I had that then. I thought I felt a bit of weight there then. I missed the hook up because I've been getting so many nibbles on this rod that I haven't hooked up. I've gut hooked a sardine. He's not gut hooked, he's just hooked a bit deep. How do you deep hook a fish that small? Tiny redfin. See you later, mate. Look at this other rod here. I'm trying to get this one in. This is a bigger fish. Is it another nice redfin? Or is it a carp? If it's a reddy, it might be another nice one. Oh, it's got to be a carp, doesn't it? Look at it go. There's my anti-reverse. Right. That reel hasn't got an anti-reverse, but this one has, and I like it. It's a carp. If it's a redfin, it's absolutely enormous. I've just put a fresh worm on the long rod, on the JD rod, and this was getting a few bites. Imagine if I got this up and it really was a redfin. Big redfin I've found in the past don't swim around so much. They don't dart left and right. They just pull down like a heavy weight. That's a yellow belly. It is a lovely yellow belly. It is the rare and elusive Lake Moodemere yellow belly. I'm not even joking. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Woohoo! I often talk about the yellow belly in here, but I never or rarely ever see one. And here I am, I've caught one. And I hooked it. I've hooked it in the gills. As in like through the side of the gills, not in the mouth. In fact, it's a lovely fish, but I'm putting it back. See you later, mate. I reckon he's going to be okay. He's swimming around in circles. Yellow belly are notorious for that. Awesome! Right, now I've got both lines out of the water at the moment. That fish wasn't hooked in the mouth. There was a bit of blood, but it wasn't deep hooked. It had gone in underneath the gill cover and just sort of hooked onto the gills. It was foul hooked. Yellow belly. In many of my Lake Moodemere fishing videos, I say, you know, fisheries have stocked this with yellow belly, but we don't see them very often, and well, you just did. In the words of Clark Griswold, I could wake up tomorrow morning with my head sewn to the carpet and not be more surprised than I am right now. Didn't take long. I put my lines back in and I'm getting a bite like within 20 seconds. Both rods are dancing around here. Missed that one. Jeez, that was a big bite. Where was I on that one? I still missed it. Come on, take it. Got him. Another small redfin, I think. I don't know, it's a small carp. It's a small redfin. I wonder if that's why that yellow belly was so fat. Maybe it's been going around just feeding on these. It'd nearly have to be, wouldn't it? Feeding on tiny redfin. Go and fatten up another yellow belly. check this out. I've just reeled this in to check the bait, and it's got a reasonable fish, and I reckon it might be a nice size redfin. And it is too, you know. No, it's a carp. I think it's a goldfish. It's a sick looking thing. It's got a rash. It's a sick looking fish with a rash. Let's put it on the ground and have a look at it. That's a goldfish. It's a bloody goldfish. Goldfish are a species of carp. You can tell by the steep head, the steep thing here, the smaller head, and the fact that there's no whiskers. It's a goldfish, but on the other side, it's a very unhealthy goldfish. It's got a big bite mark out of it. This is just incredible. I'd had a few bites, so I was just checking the bait when I found that goldfish on there. European carp have whiskers near their mouth. They're called barbels. Goldfish don't have them. And you can generally tell by the shape. Goldfish are more of a yellow belly sort of a shape. They're a higher humped fish. They're shorter and higher or deeper, as well as no whiskers. That's the second yellow belly I've caught recently. I caught one out at the freeway dam on the Hume Freeway there only a few weeks back. Something's nibbling on the JD rod here. They've gone a bit quiet over the last 15 or 20 minutes since I caught that goldfish. There it goes. Since I caught that goldfish, I've only had this is the only bite I've had. Come on, take it again. And got him. Oh, I done him. Just about to say, another weighty fish. That wasn't a little redfin. Well, the worms are still there, so I'll put it straight back out. There's not a second to lose. I don't know what that was, but there was a bit of weight in it. I'm just playing with that. Here it goes. Got it. Tiny. Be a little redfin. That's a little carp. It's a mirror carp. I caught one of them this morning up in the Yanko Creek. That's two mirror carp in one day. Yeah, a bit of everything happening here today. I've caught 4 different species, but I can't count this as a different species because it's just a European carp. From what I understand, and I could have this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere once that mirror carp are just normal European carp, or common carp, but they've been bred like that. So I'd say they've probably found one with scales missing and then bred it with another one and then bred them again, or whatever they need to do. They were created because apparently they're easier to clean for the cooking table, or easier to prepare for cooking when they haven't got scales on. I don't know how accurate that is. Just like I said on Facebook this morning, if you want to know more about mirror carp, look into it. But that's what I think. That's what I've got in my head. And you bite straight away. Didn't even get a chance to sit down on my chair and that was getting a bite there then. Come on. Can I catch one more? I reckon I can. Can I catch one more fish before I leave? There goes a big sea eagle and about 50 cockatoos. The cockies were going nuts and I was wondering why, so I looked up and there was a big sea eagle flying over. Got him. Bit of weight in this fish too, it's not a tiddler. I wonder if it's another nice redfin. Ha! What am I ending the day with? Another nice yellow belly. I've put my chair and everything away. This one's bigger than the last one. That is an absolute chunk of a yellow belly. Have a look at that. That is an absolute ripper. I'll put my camera down there. Have a look at that. Wow. It's probably 40 centimetres and fat. So fat. Awesome. Have a look at that. See you later, mate. Off you go. There it goes. Wow. Carp, big and small. Redfin, big and small. Goldfish, mirror carp, a couple of decent yellow belly. This has been the best fishing trip that I've ever had at Lake Moodemere, and it's happened in the middle of June. That is unbelievable. I'm so pumped up. Thank you all very much for watching.